Cash flow optimization is vital for the success of every business.
Pitch Deck 101 LLC out of New York do more than just support our clients to pitch their businesses to investors access working capital at 0% APR. We also support our clients to grow and scale their businesses faster and cash flow optimize. Pitch Deck 101 LLC recent partnership with 10X Branding Marketing LLC and Global Capital Inc. out of the USA has enabled us to form unique partnership with multiple financial institutions, which means we can do even more to accelerate the success of our clients. Let Pitch Deck 101 LLC give you the support you need to pitch to investors, access capital, access new markets, and grow and scale your business. Contact us now on 332-235-1099 for a free consultation.
And one of the things that we see happens to millions of businesses across the world is that they struggle to optimize the cash flow of their business. Now, in today's program titled 5 Steps, 7 Days Business Cash Flow Strategy, we will unlock a number of the essential information that you need to learn, apply, and master when you're attempting to cash flow your business. The beauty about this program is that we will show you step by step and exactly how to cash flow your business and your brand in just 7 days. Now, the ability to achieve this will ultimately depend on how well you understand the ecosystem that you're now being introduced to and how well you're able to apply this body of knowledge to optimize your business success. Now, today is the introduction, and over the next 5 to 6 days, we will do a deep dive into the 5 concepts that is right before you. In this program, we will examine the importance of data in the context of wealth creation. We will examine the importance of tools in the context of wealth creation. We will look at processes in the context of wealth creation. We will also be looking at leadership in the context of wealth creation. And last but not least, you will learn about the importance of systems in the context of wealth creation. Today, I will do a broad overview of each of these headings so as to give you an insight in terms of what is to come. Any attempt to cash flow your business, particularly so if you want to cash flow your business in 7 days, it's very important for you to focus on data, what the data is saying. When you hear data, it may come across as an abstract term. And the reason for that is because data has multiple different interpretations that can be cast towards the terminology. But let us examine data. There are 4 important concepts that you want to take away from data. First of all is data collection. Data collection is you being able to collect the right body of knowledge that is going to help you to make wise business decisions. So you need to focus on data collection. The second stage of data is data analytics. You see, very often persons collect data, but then they are not able to analyze that data to ensure that the data makes sense. So let's take, for example, you want to start your 6, 7, and 9-figure brand. You need data. But when you collect that data and you analyze that data, as you do the analysis should put you in a position of strength to say that this area of business, because of market size, density, and dispersion, it has the ability to optimize your potential to earn. It's able to help you to understand the size of the market and the cash flow potential of the market. The analysis should be able to give you this body of knowledge. You see, with this body of knowledge, you're in a much better position of strength to make better, smarter, wiser decisions as you take practical steps to cash flow your business in the shortest possible time. So step 1 is data. And when you use data in the right way, you will be able to cash flow your business within 7 days. These are systems that we have been using for quite some time all across the world. And I'm quite certain when you learn the concept and you apply the concept the way the concept ought to be applied, you will get similar results. The third concept that you need to look at is data leverage. So you collect the data on income producing possibilities, you analyze analyze the data, you now know for sure that this area of business has the potential to cash flow. Step three is now you leverage that body of knowledge to achieve a predictable outcome. All right. You apply the body of knowledge. You see, very often people collect information, people may even analyze information, but guess what? People hardly ever apply the data the way the data ought to be applied to achieve the objective. For example, I'm giving you information here, right here, and right now, and you have the opportunity to analyze the information that I'm giving to you. But the big question that you must ask yourself, are you brave enough and strong enough to apply this body of knowledge to achieve the outcome that we're talking about? 5 steps, 7 days, cash flow strategies. Very often people never apply because of what we call a leadership deficit. As we go deeper into this program, we will examine all of that. Today, we're going to do just a high level overview of what is to come as we begin to unlock each of the 5 steps to ensure that you have this body of knowledge and you can apply this body of knowledge to transform your business potential to cash flow. The last concept that you should take away on data is data mitigation. Market realities are not static. Market realities are changing constantly. So two things, you can adjust to the change or you can be the change. There are market forces that will continue to change market realities, and you can quickly adjust to those changes, or you can position yourself to become one of those iconic players in business where you now can create the change. You now can create the shift because you have grown your brand to that extent to achieve this. So with data mitigation, you have to be sensitive to market realities. You have to be market oriented, market sensitive, and market responsive enough to shift with changing realities in the market if you are not the change that is causing the change. So you need to become literally comfortable with data in the context of business, in the context of wealth creation. The more you understand about data is the better position you're in, optimize your business potential to cash flow. Now, I'm going to tell you a few other reasons why I love data and why you should love it too. You see, data is the science, and science are things that you cannot really disprove. It's factual, it's SOPs, it's proven, it has been tested. So you get the science with data. It goes much deeper than this, but I'm giving you a high level overview here today. Data tells you what is people needs and wants and expectations. Data tells you people's ability to pay for products and services. Data tells you people's willingness to pay for services. Data tells you how to get people to pay for your service. Proven facts. So data gives you the science, it gives you the proven theory, and it gives you best practices. But data also gives you the high rewards, the measurable results, the predictable outcome with the highest degree of accuracy. So we're going to go deep into data to really help you to make smart decision, wise decision when it comes to taking practical steps to cash flow your business in 7 days. The reason you're going to struggle to cash flow your business is largely because you're not using data. Who's your buyers? What are their specific needs and their pain point? Do you have the ability to reach their expectation? Do you have the ability to exceed their expectations? Do you have the ability to consistently reach and exceed those expectations? What is the data saying in this regard? In the first place, you don't even know who you're targeting because you don't have that database. So very often when you're attempting to introduce your minimum or most viable offer to the market, it's not aligning because you're not using data to help you to make informed and highly educated business decision that's going to help you to cash flow your business in the shortest period of time. So 5 steps, 7 days business cash flow strategies is designed to really help you to unlock this body of knowledge to optimize the cash flow of your business. We will go deep into data and how data can be used in the context of wealth creation. So I want to encourage you to like, subscribe, share this podcast to persons who you believe may have an interest in business and want to know how to optimize their business cash flow. So when this program comes out, they will be the first to get it. You will be the first to get it, and they will be the first to get it. Now, let's move on to the second step of this program. We talk about tools in the context of wealth creation. What do you know about tools that is relevant, important, absolutely necessary when it comes to wealth creation? You need to know the right tools, and many persons they struggle with this body of knowledge. And if you're struggling with this body of knowledge, you're going to undermine your business potential to cash flow. You're going to undermine your efforts to optimize cash flow. So, in step two, we will talk a lot about tools and how the right tools, when used the right way, will position you to build wealth fast. At least it will start to help you to cash flow your business within 7 days. So let's talk about some of those tools that you need to know. You see, one of the important tools that you need to understand is what is lead magnets, what is funnels, cash flow funnels. You need to understand what is the ideal client stress test ladder. You need to understand what is the client conversion ladder. You see, all of these are tools. These are tools that are all designed to help you to make better, smarter, wiser decisions when it comes to positioning your business and your brand to cash flow. Do you know the right tools? Now, these tools are tools that has been tested time and time again, and they deliver on expectations. They deliver above expectations, and they deliver consistently above and beyond expectations. But do you know the right tools? So, as we begin to do that deep dive into tools in the context of wealth creation, these are some of the takeaway that you will benefit from. You know, one of the things that we see is that you're a rising star in business and you employ persons to work in sales and marketing. You employ people to work in public relation, quality customer care, and executive leadership. Yes, there may be some of the best qualified people based on academics, but guess what you didn't check? You didn't check their ability to speak clearly and communicate effectively. And that's a whole subject matter by itself. Now, think about this. You have your sales and marketing and public relation, quality customer care, and executive leadership. And part of their outfit, intellectual outfit, they must be able to speak clearly and communicate effectively. Part of their intellectual outfit is communicating. Your sales executive, they have to be able to send information out in such a way to command attention, pique interest, arouse desire, move your listeners into action, make impact, convert. But guess what? You didn't equip them with the right tools to optimize their performance. And very often, what they do, they speak in the language of noise because they do not have the right tools. So, one of the tools that you will be introduced to is Public Speaking Made Simple. And this program is designed by Public Speaking Academy, Public Speakers Academy. Because part of your tools is the ability to speak clearly, the ability to communicate effectively, the ability to command attention, pique interest, arouse desire, the ability to convert you need to understand these tools. These tools will literally put your team in that position of strength to enhance their communication skills. Now, let me pause a bit to talk a little bit about these tools and why it is important. The ability to speak clearly, the ability to communicate effectively is very important. And one of the biggest mistakes that we see many rising stars in business do, many persons in sales, marketing, public relation, quality, customer care, and executive leadership do, when you speak like if you're speaking in blanket terms. You say one thing and you assume that everyone is going to interpret what you're saying. And that's the biggest mistake that you can make. Why? Because the person you're trying to sell to and communicate information to, they may have different learning styles. And we talk about this all the time. But are you equipped with the right tools to leverage communication skills in the right way to achieve predictable outcome by using this tool? You see, some listeners are auditory. Some of your audience are visual learners, and some are kinesthetic learners. But in sales, marketing, public relation, quality, customer care, executive leadership, when you're communicating and you don't know this because you're speaking in blanket term, you end up speaking in the language of noise. So imagine this, your sales personnel, you're speaking to the right audience, the audience that have the ability to pay, they have the willingness to pay, but guess what? You can't get them to pay because you're speaking in the language of noise. You're not speaking in their language. Why? Because you didn't take the time to understand the right tools that you should be deploying to connect with your audience, with your listeners. So it becomes a missed opportunity to cash flow the business. These are tools. You're going to struggle to cash flow your business in 5 steps, 7 days, because you don't know the right tools. You haven't taken the time to understand people's learning style. You haven't taken the time to understand your audience, and you haven't taken the time to master the tools that enables you to communicate with them in the right way to ensure that you get predictable feedback. So you have gaps in your feedback. You got feedback communication gaps, feedback loops, and you want to fill them. So step 2, we will go into these things that helps you to understand why it is necessary to really learn these tools. So as you begin to deploy these tools into the client conversion ladder, because you're able to communicate more effectively, you're able to better connect and build healthy, productive relationship with the ideal client. This goes a very far way to helping you to increase visibility, reach and impact, client conversion, cash flow optimization, and so much more. Knowing the right tools is a game changer, and we will unpack all of this for you. So you want to cash flow your business using our 5 steps. You want to cash flow your business in 7 days using these 5 steps. You're at the right place. All right. You are at the right place. Now, the third concept or the third step that I want to talk about now is what we call processes. You see, very often people set about doing things to achieve predictable outcomes without any processes. So you want the high rewards, you want the measurable results, you want predictable outcome with the highest degree of accuracy, you want success in your business. But what are your processes? You have no process. So if you have no process to cash flow your business, no process to grow and scale your business, how do you expect to achieve it? You want to cash flow your business. You're struggling with cash flow optimization. You either don't have a process or you have a very weak process. So let me share with you what you will learn from the processes that we will introduce to you. Now, processes is knowing the right way to apply the right tools to achieve predictable outcome.
10x Branding and Marketing LLC, powering the next generation of unicorns. At 10x B&M LLC, we specialize in market research, brand innovation, market integration, and client conversion optimization. Our team of experts is dedicated to providing the strategic insights and innovative solutions needed to accelerate growth and unlock your company's full potential. Whether you're a startup looking to attract investors and your ideal clients, or an established business ready for market expansion, we're here to guide you every step of the way. Let 10x Branding and Marketing LLC fuel your journey to exceptional business success. Contact us now for a free consultation on how we can position your business to become a unicorn.
I repeat that. Processes is knowing the right way or right ways to deploy the right tools to achieve predictable outcome. Very often, you're applying the wrong process, the wrong way to achieve predictable outcome. How can you do that? You're applying the wrong tools, the wrong way to achieve predictable outcome. Your predictable outcome, you want to cash flow your business and you want to cash flow it fast, but you're using the wrong tool the wrong way. The possibility exists that you may even be using the right tools the wrong way to achieve predictable outcome. And when you have this lack of coordination that is taking place, it undermines your business potential to cash flow. So processes, it's about knowing the right way. And how do you know the right way? Get the right mentor, get the right coach, get the right sponsors, become part of a supportive community who have done the things that you want to do 1,000 times and they have a healthy track record of success. They're going to show you the right way to apply the right tools. How do you know the right tools? The possibility exists that you're using the wrong tools to achieve the objective. As I said, this can be a very deep subject matter. And a quick example that I want to give with right and wrong tools. As a business startup, what happens? You need capital to move your vision forward. And sometimes you are not in a position of strength to make an informed and highly educated decision as to which financial tool is the best tool for you to use at the stage that you're at with your business. So let's take, for example, you take debt. It's a tool. It's a financial instrument and it's a financial tool to move your vision forward. But tell me this, is debt the best instrument for you to use as a startup? The possibility exists not, that it's not. Why? Because you have not yet mastered the 5-step, 7 days cash flow, business cash flow strategies. So it takes your business many weeks, many months to reach that point of cash flow. Now, when that happens, how does it affect that instrument? You see, if you're taking debt, let us suppose to invest in your business, depending on what type of business you have, that debt is subject to PITI, principal and interest, tax and insurance, depending on the type of debt and depending on how you invest in that capital. The other thing that happens here, you have monthly debt obligation. So what happens in the case when your business is not cash flowing in 5 to 7 days? Because you don't know the 5-step, 7 days cash flow strategies, what happens? It creates tremendous difficulties for you to reach your monthly debt obligation. And if this happens for a long period of time, the assets that you have will be repossessed or possessed by the financial institution, and there goes your dreams down the drain. So you're accessing tools, but is it the right tools? Perhaps your mentor, your coach, your sponsor, the supportive community that you're a part of, they may say to you, instead of taking debt capital, why not try equity capital? And here is where you find an equity investor, and the equity investor listens to your story, looks at your business plan, your concept notes, and they say, hey, this looks good. And above it looking good, I believe that we can help you push your vision further faster. And the thing about it, when a private equity investor comes in, they're coming with capital. And the right private equity investor, they're also coming with market intelligence. So there are things about the market that they will know that you don't know. And because they're coming with this unique knowledge, they're able to now help you to significantly optimize the growth of your business. So that's immediately, it's a massive advantage that you will be placed in. Guess what else? With private equity investment, you are now being divorced, or let me put it this way, you may not have the monthly obligation to pay from the income that is coming in to the company. You're divorced now from paying the PITI on a monthly basis because your private equity investor, they understand the stage of the business is at, and they're supporting you to take the income and flip the income back into the business growth strategy. All right, the business growth strategy. So knowing the right way to deploy the right tool to achieve predictable outcome is vital. Now, the thing about it, we know that many rising stars in business, you don't have all of this knowledge to make the best and smartest decision, and that's okay. You at least need to give yourself a tap on the back for starting your vision, your business. But now is the time to start to rub shoulders with the mentors and the coach and the sponsor, the right one. Be part of the supportive community that can help to push you forward. And that's where we come in at Seven Figure Media. That's where we come in at 10X Branding and Marketing LLC. That's where we come in at Pitch Deck 101 LLC. That is where 5 steps, 7 days business cash flow game plan comes in. Because we're not going to hold back in giving you the information that's going to help you to make better, smarter, wiser business decisions to move your vision forward, to optimize the cash flow of your business. Now, the 4th step is very important. So we talk about data, we talk about tools, we talk about processes in the context of wealth creation. Now, how does leadership fits into this equation? I want to say that it's very important. It's very, very, very important. And let me tell you why. Again, we see millions of people across the world that have dreams and hopes and aspirations. Many rising stars in business, you have a good brand, you have a good concept. You may even have data of the potential of this concept to cash flow. You may even know the right tools to apply to achieve the objective. You may even know the right processes, the right way to deploy the right tools to achieve predictable outcome. But guess what? you don't have the leadership ability. All right, you don't have the leadership ability. And what happens when you're overcome by the lack of this leadership ability? It undermines the vision. It undermines your ability to optimize your chances for success. You have the ability to be great, but because you're not investing enough time, talent, and resources to refine the leader in you, you're compromised. So, part of the 5 steps we know is going to be influenced significantly by your ability to lead. And I'm going to share a couple of things with you about leadership, proactive leadership. You see, in this context of leadership and wealth creation, you will be taught how to master the process of thinking ahead, how to master the process of seeing beyond problems. Many persons get stuck in the problem zone. And that's the last place you want to be stuck when you want to build wealth, when you want to cash flow optimize. You don't want to be stuck in the problem zone. You want to be able to get out of that problem zone and get to that point where you are now taking informed action, not just action, informed action. And informed action is different. It have major differences because you can work hard. Working hard doesn't mean you're going to achieve the objective. But when you're working hard with informed knowledge, there is where the magic begins to take place. Why? Because you understand the right way to deploy the right tool to achieve predictable outcome. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to be working hard, not knowing the right tools, working hard, not knowing how to deploy the tools in the proper way, and working hard to achieve predictable outcome that never exist. So we're going to do a deep dive into all of this because people never rise beyond their sense of self. You never rise above your ability to lead and influence desired outcome. All right. Leadership is important. So we will discuss leadership in the context of wealth creation. You could have great ideas and be a cold failure because of leadership deficit, your leadership deficit. So we will talk about that and what is holding you back from becoming the best version of yourself. We will go deep into this analysis because we're committed to working with people across the world to really help you to become better leaders. You must position yourself to have a strong sense of self, a strong sense of purpose, and a strong sense of direction. But before that happens, you must understand what is holding you back from becoming a better leader. So we will talk about the self-image theory and what is holding you back. We will talk about team dynamics and what is holding you back. We will talk to you about how to connect better with your ideal clients and what is holding you back. We will talk about public-private partnership and what is holding you back. We will talk about developing your clear TOPAC, targeted performance outcome. So we have a lot to unpack when it comes to leadership. But I want to say this to you. 5 steps, 7 days cash flow game plan, 5 steps, 7 days cash flow, business cash flow, strategies is going to be undermined if you have a leadership deficit. And that's why this is so important. And let me just simplify leadership. Leadership is the ability to communicate. Leadership is the ability to connect with people. All right, let's break it down to what leadership is. And if you're lacking in this ability because you don't have enough self confidence, you don't have enough will to direct the vision in a way to create impact, that vision is going to be undermined because of leadership deficit. It's like you develop your cash flow projection program. It's developed. You've done the research. You have the data. It's a big market, great demand. You have the right tools, you have the right processes, but you're scared to apply yourself, to get out there and connect with people and build healthy, productive relationships with people. And I want to say, I know millions of people based on the research who are struggling with this. Now, a research that was done by Florida shows that millions of people across the world, they struggle with public speaking anxiety. And think about this. You have great vision for yourself, great hope for yourself, but this element of leadership, because of that deficit exists, it undermines your dreams and hopes and aspirations. We want to help you to break that cycle. No, nothing to feel bad about. I mean, no one is born a great leader. But guess what? You can learn how to be a master at good leadership. And I'm happy to say that this program, 5 steps, 7 days, business cash flow strategies, will unlock all of this and unpack all of this for you. The last concept that you will take away from this lesson is systems, and what systems has to do with wealth creation. You see, systems is so important because systems is what helps you to apply that 20/80 rule. And what exactly am I referring to when I speak of the 20/80 rule? You see, as a rising star in business who have big vision, very often you go with the whole pie of the cake. Why? Because you are micromanaging, you are multitasking. So you are the sales and marketing, public relation, you're the quality customer care, you're the executive leadership, you're the accountant, you're the cultural anthropologist. You are everything onto yourself. To be a great leader in business who's all set to cash flow optimize, you got to develop a different mindset. This mindset is where you're focusing on 20% of the initiative that is the most important. And the 80% can be delegated out to your sales and marketing and public relation and quality customer care and executive leaders at the 3 levels of the organization: strategic, tactical, and operational. You delegate this out. But to delegate your vision out and to do this effectively, you need systems, well developed systems, because systems is what gives you transparency. Systems is what gives you accountability. Systems is what gives you consistency. Systems is what gives you traceability. Systems is what gives you scalability. Systems is what gives you transferability. Systems is what gives you optimization. Systems. Let me break all of this down. You see, when you find a way to cash flow and cash flow fast, you want to systemize it. So you're not the only person in your company that knows how to leverage this process to cash flow. You see, KFC became a franchise because of billing systems. Churches became a franchise because of systems. And you never ever see the owners because you only see the 80% of the people whose responsibilities are delegated to. But the systems are running. So these are concepts that we're going to be going into to really give you the tools, the entire toolkit that will help you to really understand the 5 steps that is going to position you to cash flow in 7 days. 5 steps, 7 days, business cash flow strategies. Now, I want to say this, right? The possibility exists that when you learn this concept and you begin to apply this concept, you may be able to cash flow your business and your brand in less than 7 days. We have done that. Our team has done this multiple times. But the possibility exists also that some people will struggle with this. And we know exactly why you're going to struggle with it. You're going to struggle because of the 4th concept, leadership deficit. Leadership deficit. Because we are aware of this, we will put a lot of emphasis here to really either get you past this if you're the person that is struggling with leadership deficit, or work with you to help you to build a strong team that understands leadership, proactive leadership, the process of thinking ahead, the process of seeing beyond problems, and the process of taking informed action. So this is a very deep initiative. And once you commit the time, talent, and resources to really understand 5 steps, 7 days, business cash flow strategies, your life will be transformed. All right. Now, in conclusion, I must say that this program comes to you with the kind compliments of 7-Figure Media and Public Speaking Made Simple. This is a very unique program. This is one of the tools that you will be learning in this program. It's a very unique platform. So my friends, I trust you would have enjoyed the introduction to 5 steps, 7 days, business cash flow strategy. And believe me, you don't want to miss it. So if you're struggling to cash flow your business, or you know of anyone who is struggling to cash flow their business, this is a very unique program that you cannot afford to miss. See you in part 2 of this initiative.
Pitch Deck 101 LLC, powering the next generation of unicorns. At Pitch Deck 101 LLC, we specialize in market research, brand innovation, market integration, and client conversion optimization. Our team of experts is dedicated to providing the strategic insights and innovative solutions needed to accelerate growth and unlock your company's full potential. Whether you're a startup looking to attract investors and your ideal clients, or an established business ready for market expansion, we're here to guide you every step of the way. Let Pitch Deck 101 LLC fuel your journey to exceptional business success. Contact us now for a free consultation on how we can position your business to become a unicorn.